is a class act. Now, he made a decision yesterday to withdraw from the 1st Congressional District race because he said if we can save that money, and there isn't that much difference between myself and Walt Menink in numbers, if we can save that money, if we can get rid of Bill Sally, then that's an important thing, and he was willing to put his own personal desires or thoughts or volunteerism on hold for a while we get this job done in the 1st Congressional District. He made that decision yesterday. Now stop and think. How many politicians do that? Let me see. If I count them all on one hand, I can't do it because it's come up zero. Let me give you our champion, a friend of mine, a great Democrat, a fellow who knows what it takes to get it done, Larry Grant. Larry.
Thank you, Governor. All right, let me hear it. Are you proud to be a Democrat?
Yeah!
Come on, are you proud to be a Democrat?
Yeah!
All right. I too want to say a little bit about the legislative races because this is a pizza and politics. I'm not sure how many of you are aware of it, but in the 1st Congressional District, we lost 4 races last time by less than 500 votes. Think what would happen if we had 4 more legislators from the 1st Congressional District. And we can do it. It's just a matter of a few more phone calls, just a matter of knocking on a few more doors. So I think we can get at least 3 out of those 4 this time. Okay? I can tell you who they are, but there aren't very many of them in Ada County, but we have some real strong folks up north. Now listen, people have called. They've been wonderful. They've sent me emails. They say, are you sick? Is there a medical problem? I said, no, this is a straightforward, hard-nosed political decision. We have an opportunity in this 1st Congressional District race with Bill Sally, who's very vulnerable. It is an opportunity that comes along very, very seldom in Idaho politics. And I sat down and I said, okay, the objective here is to beat Bill Sally. How do we do that? And I looked at it and I said, well, I've got a great ground organization. Walt has better connections in Washington, D.C., and he's a prodigious fundraiser. And I said, we can sit here and spend the next 2 months yelling and screaming at each other, having you make up, have to choose up sides, come out of the primary with a divided party, spend another $300,000 or $400,000 fighting over votes that we're going to get in the general anyway. I said, the worst possible thing that can happen is for us to win the primary and lose the general. And I said, this is not a good scenario. So then I sat down and I said, all right, how do we do this? And I said, well, if Walt and I could run as a team, we'd beat Bill Sally like a rented mule, okay? He wouldn't have a chance. And the only way I could see to do that was to step back, let Walt bring in Washington, I'll bring in my organization, and we will put together a team like you've never seen. And I want to say that I'm always proud to stand on the stage with Cecil Andrus. And it was bothering me a whole lot that we weren't on the same stage. And if we're going to win this race, we need every Democrat in this state. We need Washington, D.C. We need Boise. We need everybody working because it's not going to be easy to beat Bill Sally, as bad as he is, okay? Now, let me give you 3 reasons why we win. 3 simple reasons why we win. The first reason is we have seasoned candidates. Now, I ran last time. We put together an organization. We came within 5%. Think about it. Think about it. When I started June 10th, 2005, in Grangeville, made my first stump speech, nobody gave a Democrat a chance. We came within 5 points of beating Bill Sally. And in order to do that, they had to send Dick Cheney out here twice. They had to send Dennis Hastert out here. They had to send the chairman of the Republican Party out here. Larry Craig did attack ads for Bill Sally against me. Mike Crapo did television ads. It took the entire Republican machine, state and national, to beat us last time. This time they're going to lose. Now, so we're more organized than we have ever been. And everybody knows it's knocking on doors and making phone calls and doing the mechanics, just getting out there and getting it done. And I can tell you, I've been up and down this district. You know, I put 45,000 miles on my campaign car, and that doesn't count the number of flights to Coeur d'Alene. We already put 14,000 miles on the car driving up and down Highway 95 this last summer. There are every county in this district is full of Democrats and ready to go. Ready to go. Now, the second reason we're going to win is that control of Congress is not an issue. That was the one thing we could not get passed. You remember what they said? A vote for Larry Grant is a vote for Nancy Pelosi. Okay? You got to vote for Bill Sally, even if you don't like him, because we have to save this seat for the Republican Party. Well, there is justice in the world because for their effort, they got both Bill Sally and Nancy Pelosi. Okay, the third reason we're going to win is that Bill Sally has to run on his record, okay? And his record is miserable. You know, he voted against families, working families, when he voted against raising the minimum wage. He voted against seniors when he voted against negotiating prescription drug prices under Medicare. He voted against children when he voted against Head Start and children's health insurance programs. He voted for big oil companies when he voted against ending subsidies for the oil companies. He voted against balancing the budget when he voted against pay-as-you-go rules in the House of Representatives. And, you know, just 2 weeks ago, he voted against setting up an independent ethics committee for the House of Representatives. And guess who came out 2 days later and put him on the endangered species list for the Republican Party? Minority Leader Boehner. Now, you remember John Boehner. He's the congressman who has taken more golf trips than any other congressman in the House of Representatives. No wonder they don't want an independent ethics committee. Now, I want to tell you that I've been a candidate, and as a candidate, you have to be careful about what you say. Well, I'm no longer a candidate, and for 3 years, I've been waiting to say something like this. And I have a 12-year-old grandson. And I want to put it in words that he would use. Bill Sally is a piece, okay? All right, all we have to do now is get organized. We will get every Democratic vote in this district. We need, and I can tell you how many Democrats there are, and I can tell you how many votes we need, but if I told you, we'd scare you to death. But the fact of the matter is we need each and every one of you to go out and find about 5 to 10 people who will vote to get Bill Sally out of office. And that's all we really have to do across this district. And I know we can win. And that's the reason I made the decision that I did. And I hope you will all get behind Walt Minnick and we can take this seat. Thank you.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, exactly right. And another thing, when you visit with those other people, remind them, if you will, there's going to, you know, Democrats have control of the Congress. Democrats will be in the White House. Do you really want 4 Republicans representing you that have zero clout in any of the subcommittees? Or you talk about transportation, education, and the other things, and that's not going to work. That's not the way the politics work. So look very closely at that Senate race. Look very closely at the congressional district race. And they are critically important. And start at the courthouse level and work your way all the way to the top. This man and I will be, we're going to be in Coeur d'Alene next week.
Yep.
And I was in Lewiston last week, and I was in Sandpoint the week before, as you were. And we're going to continue to work every place where we have the time to do it. But we can't do it alone. Remember Maryland, what it takes to be elected? Maryland is our last constitutional officer that was a Democrat to be elected. It takes a lot of work. You people are the horses, and God love you. We will get it done. Thank you very much.